1, 0.
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro.
All right, we are live finally after 2 weeks. Hello. I've missed this so much, and I've missed hopefully everyone jumping on and seeing all the beautiful comments. So we are live for our Conversations to Raise Vibrations Wellness Wednesday. Welcome. If you are new and just jumping onto this, please, hopefully you've given StreamYard permission to share your name in the comments. If not, just let us know who you are. And if you're new, we have an amazing YouTube channel, so you can always hop over there and like, share, and subscribe to that beautiful channel that we are creating and hopefully building. So please share away. And today we have, my name is Lisa Kelly. I feel like I'm lost right now. And as always, I'm joined by the beautiful Elvira Hopper. It's only been 2 weeks, and you think Janet, yay!
Yay, Janet!
Sharing with Elvira in the studio there a little bit about last Wednesday and how I meant to go live at 11 and share with everyone. Elvira was doing this amazing conference and forgot, and Janet was so amazing and just messaged me. So thank you, Janet. For that. Beautiful. But we are happy to be back, and we are super excited about today's conversation. Just so everybody knows, Elvira pulled a card for us before. We just asked Spirit what would be in everyone's best interest to talk about today and to hear about today. And she has these beautiful cards that she this is her favorite deck. So Elvira, please.
Thank you, Lisa. So it's so good to be here again. 2 weeks off. Like, it's not right. It's not right. I needed my fix of Lisa. I'm so glad to be here and with everybody here, this beautiful energy and this beautiful group. All right. So the card that I pulled backstage is, out of the mess comes elegant order.
Love it.
Isn't that gorgeous? And it's 20, which is a 2, right? Which is a special number for you. And there's 2 of us, right? So I love this, because you and I are the yin and yang. Like, the way we show up is you have your energy, I have mine, but we beautifully, I like to think we beautifully dovetail together, just like the yin and the yang, right? Yeah. So you don't necessarily have to be surrounded by people that are exactly like you, but people that do, weave with you and they can, like my husband, he couldn't be more opposite than me, but we're a perfect yin and yang, right? Yeah. For many years, I didn't see that because my ego was running the show, but I truly, I love this card. I love this card.
And so I just want to say 2s right now. I don't know what it is for me. Yeah. 222 is showing up, and today is the 22nd of June and the
22. Oh my God. I didn't even think
writing in my journal, and that's what caught me this morning. And I've been looking at the meaning of 222, the angel meaning of 222. And I finally wrote it out in my journal, so I can share that later if anyone's interested. But it really resonated with me, and actually really resonates with what we're talking about too.
Yeah.
So interesting. Yeah.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you for that commentary. That's beautiful. I didn't even realize it was 2222. That's amazing. Know. Okay, so I'm going to read what this card is saying to all of us. Anybody watching, this is for you.
Yes.
Everything looks messy in the middle. If you knew that, you would be more allowing of the messes that show up. The universe is always seeking order and novelty at the same time. The novelty creates new ideas, pathways, and variations. The order creates coherence and consistency. Realize the chaos, confusion, and turmoil are exactly what's needed right now. Otherwise, you'd come to the exact same thought that thousands of others have had before you. Nobody thinks they want a mess, but what if that is what's necessary to create something bigger and grander? Baking is full of broken eggs and spilled flour. But then the alchemical process turns our mess into delicious cake. Don't sweep the mess under the rug. Embrace, acknowledge, and appreciate each one. It's reassuring to know that there are no breakthroughs without breakdowns. You cannot clean up a mess. It has to be reconceived. transformed and transcended into another elevated creation.
I love it.
Woo! And they
Right?
have a question. The cosmic catalyst question is, what are the ways? So this is for all of you listening. What are the ways I can fully appreciate my biggest so-called mess right now?
Can we, hey, listen, if you're
Yeah.
on here, everyone,
Yeah.
I'm going to get Elvira to read that
Yes.
question again. And why don't
Yes.
you stick in the comment section right now the answer
Hmm.
to that
Yeah.
question? If
That's a
you feel comfortable.
great
If
thing.
you feel
Thank you,
comfortable,
Lisa.
I'd love
Yeah.
that. Can
Yeah.
you read it again?
What are the ways I can fully appreciate my biggest so-called mess right now?
Mm.
So would you like to go
But I
first,
just
Lisa?
know
Would you
that
like to go
right
first? And then
now on
people
my
can
list
put,
right now, and I'm just sitting here. So this card was so perfect for me. Hopefully, it was good for everybody else. But I, I'm sitting here because I'm the big believer. I've done my inner work, and so hey, just and we've talked about this all the time. Just because we've done our inner work doesn't mean there's no more messes in
Mhm.
your life. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's just put that on the table right now. Just because you've had a breakthrough in one area doesn't mean you're not going to have a breakdown in another area and experience. This is how we grow. This is how our soul expands and grows, right? It's what you do with that mess.
Yeah.
So I'm reflecting on that question and I'm thinking, how can, to me, I think, and I don't know if this answers the question, so, maybe help me out here. But when I think about what are the ways I can fully appreciate the messes, because sometimes realistically, if anybody's read Wayne Dyer's book, I Can See Clearly Now.
Mm.
It's one of my favorite books written by him because of it's kind of like a memoir, right? He goes back into his life and he goes back into, oh, I can see why that happened to me
Mm.
now. And
Yeah.
sometimes we don't see why things happen when we're in them,
Yeah.
but how can you fully appreciate it while you're in it, right?
Mm.
And one of the ways I think I've been, just fully appreciating, albeit it's difficult, is just sitting with the pain. Like
Yeah.
this morning, I just sat in a meditation and I
Yeah.
ho'oponoponoed all morning because that was really all I was able to do in that
Yeah.
moment
Yeah.
and bring balance to the situation, bring light to the situation, right? We want light over the darkness.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's the way just to fully appreciate it. Does that make sense? Just being
Mhm. Just
pain,
being present.
just being present with it,
Yeah.
being
And not beating yourself up and saying, "Oh, why am I doing this again?" Or, "Geez, I thought I was past this. Why the hell am I here again?" Right?
and
It's
I've
about
done
just
that. And
being
you know
present.
who I find I do that more with? My mom.
Mm.
Like, I call my mom and I do that more with her
Yeah.
because I guess she's my mom. Like, she allows it. And you just sometimes you need to break down and
Yeah.
sometimes you need to vent, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
on the whole, I think I'm way better than I used to be
Yeah.
with the situation that seems to keep rearing its ugly head. But
Mm.
um, this comes to mind with something you said in the studio as well. We're not in charge of the how. And
Mhm.
sometimes when we're in that mess, our first question is how am I here again? How am
Mm.
I getting out of this? How the
Mhm.
hell, like, I gotta get it. Like, we're always in that gotta mind. Gotta get out of this mess
Yeah.
instead of just sitting present with the mess. But as we talked about again, is the same mind that created the problem, because we have to take responsibility, cannot solve that problem,
Yeah.
right?
That's right. We have
We
to transform. We have to be different in
Yeah.
order to get a solution. Yeah.
Yes. You
Yeah.
have to transform, you have to
Yeah.
do the inner work, and, you have to transform your mind. You have
Yeah.
to transform, you have to reprogram that mind, and I tell you, and you've said it over and over, sitting there trying to will it and do it by yourself doesn't
Mm.
it doesn't work. You really,
Yeah.
in my opinion, in my
Yeah.
work, in your work, you need some help,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
there's no harm in that, right? And
No,
once
not at
you know
all.
because then once you've done that, you've got all these amazing tools in your tool bank that
Yeah.
you and I use all the time when we go through something difficult, and we just pull out the tool and we sit with it and whatever the
Yeah.
tool that could be.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah,
I'd love to hear
totally.
from people that are
Totally.
watching. I really would.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, I'd
sit
love
and
to hear your thoughts. Yeah,
yeah,
because when you do transform
yeah,
and your brain actually can rewire
yeah,
and you're now up leveled and but it's not to say other things aren't going to happen. But the
no,
beautiful thing about doing this inner work is that we can get out of the messes and make meaning and give meaning to the messes,
Right.
and see the value in the messes faster
Yeah.
than being unconscious, than living unconsciously as a victim,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Blaming
Yeah.
everybody around us. But when we
Yeah.
do the work and we become, as we like to say, radically, responsible, and we realize, okay, well, this thing's happening, how did my vibration bring this on? Or what else is going on that I need to know
Yes.
about? And then you get to look at it from a different perspective. And then a solution, SOUL, I always like to call it, because it's coming from your soul. A
Yeah.
solution will come out, and
Yeah.
and we get to up level, So I'm doing this work every single day. And honestly, I am so grateful. I don't know who I would be right. Well, I know who I'd be right now. I'd be dead if I wasn't doing this work,
Yeah.
because I didn't want drugs and I didn't want therapy. But I wanted a way out of my
Yeah.
darkness, and I got it. And now it's my medicine. I live and breathe it every day. Love Your Vibe is my
Yeah.
life. And
Yeah.
yeah.
I love it. MJ says, my mess is sometimes just trying to get back on track, still
Mm.
processing my friend's passing and overwhelming
Oh,
emotions.
yeah,
Sometimes I'm second guessing myself, trying to re energize and get back into my routines and giving myself permission to take time for self care. I love that, MJ. And I think
mm,
if you could even, this is just my little piece of advice because others have given it to me, take out the word even trying,
yeah,
because trying feels like too much work right now in that space. How
yeah,
about you just re-energize by going for a walk?
yeah,
Re-energize by, if you're not even able to do that, re-energize by just sitting and looking at the beauty of a flower. Re-energize by breathing. Sometimes I think we think, and I include myself in this. I got to try and get out of this. I got to try and get.
mm,
I've got
yeah,
to. Feels like just energetically, it feels like that's work right now,
yeah,
MJ. So
yeah,
just take time. Give yourself permission to
yeah.
just be where you need to be in that
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
And all
grieving. This
yeah,
I know MJ really well.
yeah.
This gentleman was really important to her, one of her biggest cheerleaders, and
Mhm,
he's gone now. I do
mhm.
believe he's on the other side cheering her
Yeah,
on anyway. But she needs to grieve. She needs to
yeah,
allow herself to feel and to heal.
yeah,
And she's got to be real. She can't just put on a happy face. If she's feeling sad, she's got to sit with the
yeah,
sadness.
yeah,
And if tears come out, that's great, because that's how we get over the loss. Grief
yeah,
grief is just a sign that you loved something a lot, and
yeah,
you're letting it go by feeling the feelings,
yeah,
not just spiritually bypassing, but just sitting with the feelings. So
yeah,
MJ, I just invite you to just have a lot of self-compassion right now, and don't try anything. I love that you said that, Lisa.
yeah.
Trying is a heavy energy, and
It is.
Yoda says there is no such thing as try. There is
Yeah,
do or die or whatever.
just do. Yeah, my husband says it to me all the time.
Yeah.
I'm trying, and he says,
Yeah.
"There is no try, just
There is
do."
no
And Yoda's voice.
and also, yeah, trying in the coaching
And I would
world.
change that. Sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt. I would
Yeah.
change that to just be.
Yeah, just be.
Just be.
Mhm.
There's
I
no
love that.
trying, just
Just be, just be. But in the coaching world, they taught me at Coach U, my fabulous school, that try is a weasel word. When people say I'm
be.
trying, it's like they have a
Oh,
way to weasel out of that thing, because it's like, well, if they don't accomplish it, well, at least they tried, right? Whereas if you commit to doing something, then it's like you do or do not, right? So trying is a weasel word. You don't want to weasel out of things. So I will always, remind my clients that try is not acceptable. They're either choosing to do something or not choosing it. So
and in this case, I would tell MJ just to choose to just be.
yeah, choose to be and feel.
Just be.
And if the tears come out, that's great, because
Yeah,
then your grief, it's almost like, I'm going to use this analogy. It's just coming to me right now as I say it. It's almost like grief is this full, like, beaker. Okay. I'm going back to my lab days. I'm a lab technologist by profession. It's almost like it's a full beaker. And as we let out our feelings, our tears, right? We're pouring a bit more out of that beaker, and every time there's more tears or feelings, you're pouring more into that beaker, and then eventually it gets to the place where there's no more tears in that beaker, and it's not like you forget about that person, but the pain of having lost them is not so much. You can bear it, right? Like I
Mhm.
lost my dad 10 years ago. Oh my God, I didn't think I'd get over the grief, but I did. And
Mhm.
now when I think of my dad, there's smiles, there's not tears anymore, right?
Right.
And so she's going to get to a point where she's felt the feelings of his loss. I really invite you to cry, MJ, get rid of some of the tears in that beaker. And, eventually you're just going to see him. I think his name is Silvio. So God rest his soul. Beautiful Silvio. And getting chills of confirmation. He's here, MJ. He's here. And you'll get to the point where you can talk about him and not feel sad. You're just going to feel
Yeah.
grateful that he was one of your biggest cheerleaders. So how does that make you feel, MJ? Just drop it in comments. I'd love to
I love
hear.
that. I love that. I love it. And can I just read that meaning? Because
Yes.
it really, to me, I don't know, I keep getting called. I'm looking at my journal and I keep getting called. So 222, a number it's a message of hope, representative of balance, harmony, life
Mm,
choices, commitment, compromise, and trust. It's a
mm,
sign you can build on your current situation to achieve your goals and more. You're on the right path and can transform your life. Trust in the process. You are exactly where you are meant to be. That's the other thing, right? In that card, trust in the
mm.
mess. You're
Yeah.
meant to be in the middle of the mess if that's where you
Yeah.
are right now.
Yeah. And the
If
mess
you're
could
in
be
the
grief, right? And you need to be in it. You need to sit in it
100%.
and not, try to escape it through some sort of
I love it.
other thing like eating or, drinking or over exercising or shopping or whatever the addiction might be that takes you out of that feeling,
Yeah.
right? So it's about feeling it, right? Am I right, Lisa?
I love it. Absolutely. That to me is you are exactly where you're meant to be.
Yeah.
Like, even though it doesn't feel like it, and sometimes we're like, oh my God, I just want to get out of this. I just want
Yeah.
to be on the other side.
Escape. Yeah.
I'm a big, for those of you that have watched this, I love quantum physics, and I'm watching everything about getting to the other reality. um, Keep balance and let go of the need to control the outcomes. Man, that's a
Yeah.
big one for me.
Yeah.
Your hard work will manifest the results you desire. You are in a period of growth, but
Mm,
are on the right track.
yeah.
View 222 as a reminder there is always hope.
Yeah.
Uh, 222 and love is a sign that you need to work hard and make it last. Relationships require commitment and dedication, and 222 is a sign to keep going.
Nice.
I
Love
loved that.
that.
I
Love that.
loved it because, and I thought, oh, when you read that card, I'm like, that really coincides with the meaning of today, right? Like, don't try
Yeah.
to control the outcomes. The how is always trying to control the outcomes.
Yeah.
Or, how
Yeah.
am I getting out of this? That's trying to control the outcome,
Yeah.
right? And this morning I got from my angels, it's very clear. It's like, relax. We got this. And I was like,
I love how you said that.
yeah,
Relax.
it
We
was
got this.
very relaxed. We
Yes.
got this. And I was like, okay, you
Yeah.
got this. Then show me.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah.
That's so
So,
beautiful.
yeah, human being, not human doing. Yes, MJ, I
Yes.
love that.
Yes.
It's so,
Yes.
so true. We are
Love that.
human beings, and we sometimes forget that
Yeah.
piece, right? We forget.
Yeah.
And I love that we're talking about this mess because I just see so many people. I've seen so many clients that I work with transform, and they come in the mess, of course, that's why they come, and then they leave and they're like, oh my God, like I look at things so
Yeah.
differently now. Like I
Yeah. Yeah.
because they've transformed, they've done that
Yeah.
inner work and they've reprogrammed, right, their
Yeah.
brain, and they've been given permission to just feel what they need to feel,
Yes.
stay out of their flippin' stories,
Yeah.
right? And
That's so great.
it
How blessed are your clients, Lisa? So
oh,
blessed. So
like,
blessed.
honestly, in the last couple of weeks, the testimonials that I've had, I'm just giving a plug because I don't want to come from an ego space here, but
No.
it just made me like I teared
It's
up
your
and talked to my
genius.
husband.
It's
Like
your genius.
I just said that to my husband over coffee this morning. Oh my God, this is what I'm meant to be doing.
Yeah.
This is my purpose. This
Yeah.
is, I know that's what I'm meant to
Yes.
do because
Major chills. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, and you and I creating a coaching program together so that we can
Mhm.
come together and heal in a group
In an
space,
affordable way, because not
right?
everybody can afford us one-on-one. So
I'm so
yeah. Yeah.
excited for that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
Yeah.
just so beyond excited for that.
Yeah. Yeah. What a
Because that
privilege.
is truly what we're meant to do is help people not get out of the mess, right? Like I think, and it's not about. I love this because a client said this to me before. It's not about healing because you're already healed. It's
Mhm.
about remembering who you are,
Yeah.
and that's what I like to help clients do is just remember who they are.
Yeah.
It's they already have a genius within them,
Yeah.
right? They just
Yeah.
have to remember that genius. And sometimes it's not about getting, I got to just get through this mess. It's about navigating the mess. And that
Mhm.
card said how to appreciate the mess that we're in.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's maybe we can still choose to choose peace
Yeah.
in this moment,
Yeah. For
right? I don't
sure.
know if you guys have ever read the book Viktor Frankl, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Man's Search for
Man's
Meaning.
Search for Meaning. That one
It
of the
really,
best personal
it
development books ever.
right?
Yeah.
It's a really difficult read. It was for
Mhm.
me. I was like, "Oh god," like I felt pain. I had to keep putting it down and picking it up,
Yeah.
because of what, what he went through.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he chose to find humor and peace in that
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And interestingly enough, we were just talking about this with my mentor AG and his program, how I believe it was his program. I do so much work, but
Yeah.
basically we were talking about Life is Beautiful, which is a movie by Roberto Benigni,
Yes.
and he was in the same situation as
Yeah.
Viktor Frankl. They were in the Nazi
Yes.
war camps,
Yes.
and so he had his little boy with him. Oh, I'm getting chills saying this. He had his little boy with him. And this was the most horrific thing that's ever happened in history. Like one of, it's right at the top there, right? But he had a little boy to take care of. And so what did he do? He turned the war into a game. And so the little boy had to go hide, and that was part of the game. And the little boy, heard the bombs going off, and he explained it that that's part of the game, right? So at the end, the little boy, well, I don't want to give away the story if somebody wants to go watch the movie, but in essence, he basically made it so that he turned around this horrific situation and flipped it on its head and turned it into a game for his little boy. And
Um,
same with Viktor Frankl. He said, they took away everything from me
yeah.
except for my attitude, the
Yeah.
way I chose to see myself.
Yeah.
And in that book, he proves that people that have hope, that have a bigger purpose,
Yeah.
that they can go back to it, they were the ones that survived.
I
The
know.
ones that didn't have that hope didn't make it.
Didn't survive. I know. And he talks about that. It's if you haven't read it,
Yeah, go read it. It's
highly,
great, great
go
book.
read it. It's a great
Yeah.
read, and this movie sounds fantastic too.
Yeah, it's so good. So
Oh my
good.
goodness.
And
Love
great,
it.
great, great. What is it called when they have like the music? The score is just like, oh,
Oh,
it's
the
so
score.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that on Netflix or anything? 'Cause I
You
don't.
know what? I haven't looked it up. I'm sure you can find it somewhere on one of the platforms, but it's Life is Beautiful. And yeah, just such a beautiful story of mindset shifting and also of being a parent, right? Like you
Yeah.
just want to make
Oh,
things
yeah.
as easy as possible for your
Yeah.
kids. I know they have to go through things, but just a boy that young to not scare the hell out of him and turn it into a game. Like it was just so brilliant the
Wow.
way it was done.
That is amazing. That is amazing. And that's, like that's what we're talking about here is the mindset shifts, transforming your mind to
Yeah.
see things differently. And we've talked
Yeah.
about this before, right? Shifting your perception a
Yeah.
little bit to see things like how is this happening for me rather than to me?
Not to me.
We
Yeah.
talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
So this is just another, add on to what we've talked about in the
Yeah.
past. And you can't say it enough to me. Like you just
No.
can't say it enough.
It's a
And
reminder. It's a reminder every day. Life is happening for you, not to you. Like I
yes,
have to remind myself every day,
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And
Yeah.
saying that to yourself, and it's your whole mindset shift in
Yeah.
how you're waking up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so beautiful.
Oh
I
my
love it.
gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, so nice. So nice.
Oh my goodness. Well, what do you think? Thankful for your inspiration, ladies. Thank you for
Oh,
jumping on. Thank
thank
you so
you.
much. And thank
That's
you, Janet.
amazing.
Yes, I think it's on Netflix. I just checked. Oh, perfect.
Oh, thanks, Janet. She's
Awesome.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Oh.
awesome.
Have you watched it, Janet? Have you seen it?
It'll take her a
See what?
minute to
Yeah.
respond.
Okay.
There's always a delay in comments. So yeah.
Mm,
Well, listen, this has been a pleasure, an
yeah.
absolute
A
pleasure.
total
And I think we
slice.
got our message out, guys, and I think we got our message out for today. And I
Yeah.
think those that were on here, it served a purpose. And hopefully those that will watch later, they get something from this before. Janet has seen it. Yes.
Yes. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. That's fantastic.
So
Um,
amazing.
well, you know what? Since we have a little bit of time, I thought let me ask the cosmic checkbox question. So this is the again it's called the Cosmic Journey Oracle by Yannick Silver. He's one of my mentors. Friends, and I just fell in love with this deck, and so it's become my favorite. I have like 10 decks, and this one's my favorite. But he after he gives you the reading, he asks you two things. The cosmic catalyst is, what are the ways I can fully appreciate my biggest so-called mess right now? And then he has this thing called the cosmic checkbox. And so that I'd like to read to you right now. So I'm inviting everyone who's watching to do this as well. List all the messes in your life along with 3 ways you appreciate each one.
Ooh, I'm going to write that down.
Yeah. List all the messes in your life along with 3 ways. He's really challenging us.
Yeah.
With 3 ways you appreciate each one. And that just might be the mindset shift that you need. You can do it yourself by asking yourself that question.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
That might be my next journal.
Yeah.
I like
Love
that.
it. Love
I
it.
like that too.
And you know what? If anybody wants to put in the comments what came up for them, we'd love to witness you. And that would be so
Yeah.
cool.
And again, like I know we talk about this, but now this is going to take some thought. Yeah, MJ, you know what? It will for me. That's why I wrote it down, because I'm going to go sit with my journal and a little bit later and journal some of this. It will take some thought. And maybe it takes, for me, I know it will take a little bit of going into meditation.
Yeah.
And just sometimes I journal with my eyes closed because
Yeah.
I find that my ego's out of it and I'm getting
Wow.
guided from spirit. Yeah. And
Is
then,
it actually coherent on the page when you
yeah,
when you
you know
yeah,
what,
okay,
if
cool.
it's not too, if my words start, if my penmanship starts to shift and change, I also know it's my guides. And I can also tell the
Oh.
difference when my ego's answering a question versus spirit.
That's a
Mhm.
great thing to have. So
I love
can you give us some tips on how you do that, Lisa?
You know what? I literally go within. I
Mhm.
will start, sometimes I do this. I write the question at the top of the page.
Yeah.
And I put my book down and I close my eyes and I just start asking, and I silence my mind completely.
Mm.
And usually it's quite quick, the
Yeah.
answers that come
Yeah.
through.
Yeah.
And you will be able to decipher ego versus spirit.
Yeah.
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 Because if you're kind of willing the answer you want, you know ego's in the way, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like taking us, I just find like being an observer, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Looking at yourself writing is also, yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
being that observer, standing in awareness. So
Mm.
you actually take a step out of your body and then you just ask spirit to write. And then I write. And my eyes aren't totally closed the whole time. Like I'll kind of,
Yeah.
open them, but I don't want them wide open because I find my
Yeah.
ego gets in the way.
Wow.
Versus now I'm getting guided from spirit.
That's so cool. I'm gonna try that. That's amazing. That's
It does.
amazing.
And you know what? I used to do it all the time, every day. And now I just, every once in a while, but I feel like this is a spirit question, right?
Nice.
I'm going to go to my angels for some help with that one.
That's cool. I'd love to hear what comes out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for me, I just, I channel, right? And I just go
Yeah.
into almost like a trance-like state where I
Yeah.
know that, okay, I'm ready to receive, and then
Yeah.
it comes in torrents. So MJ, shout out to her. She's my graphic arts person and she does my social media posting. So I channel messages every Saturday and I put them together for her to create
Oh,
the beautiful
nice.
artwork during the week. So you got to use her if you're able to. She's
Yeah.
amazing. All the entrepreneurs out there, because I feel like we need to have content that we bring forth, it comes through us, right? So all these messages, these little
Yep.
memes, the captions that go along with the memes, they're all coming through me. They're being channeled through me. And literally, I do it so quickly because it's just
Yeah,
so I know my ego's not in the way. I know it's coming from spirit.
exactly.
And it feels good, right? When you're
Yes.
feeling good, you know it's coming from spirit.
That's the difference too. Yeah.
When you feel like, oh, that's sticky or crunchy or whatever, or like you're feeling jealousy, or you're blaming someone or whatever, that's ego, right? If you feel those feelings, that's ego. But when you're just in flow and things are just like it's
Yeah.
coming from spirit. So so that's what I do. And I'm
Love
so grateful to MJ. We're such a great team.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love it. And you know what? We're supporting one another too.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah, I love that. So
Yeah.
great.
Beautiful.
All right, my loves. Well, this has just been so wonderful. Honestly, I'm so
Oh,
grateful to be back. So thank
me
you
too.
to
Me
my
too.
beautiful
Thank
friend Elvira.
you.
And thank you to Janet and MJ and to anyone else who's going to jump on later and watch. I'm
Yeah.
so we all
Hashtag
feel
replay. Yep. Yeah.
so
Yes.
grateful.
Yeah.
Hashtag replay. And as always, please jump over to YouTube, like, share, and subscribe to that channel if you haven't already. If you haven't shared the page, we'd love to get more subscribers on there. Of course, if it feels aligned. But yeah,
Yeah.
whatever you're
Yay.
doing today, appreciate your mess. Just sit with that pain and just be ever mindful and present with it. And until next Wednesday, we love you and we will see you again.
Mwah.
Bye for now.
3, 2, 1.